Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. And before we begin, let me just remind you of that website where you can find all our awesome deals.
¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop.
And now it's time for,
8,
you know it,
7,
liftoff. Let's go.
5, 4,
Let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha, amigos.
0.
We are off.
Ignition.
Come on.
Lift off.
Cross your fingers.
30 minutes after the hour.
And here we go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Fun Radio. It's the show with no name.
Let's go. Come on, folks, get pumped, get psyched, get stoked. Easter is right around the corner, and I'm sure most of you will be taking a break, if not a long one, a short break. But folks, that's right. You can smell it. Spring is in the air. Everywhere I look around. I know. I changed the lyrics a little bit. It's really love is in the air, but I changed it to spring is in the air. Can you smell it? The flowers are blooming. There's a certain smell in the air. That's one of my favorite parts. Okay, aside from the very pleasant weather, el tiempo, genial. Well, it's also, there's something about that smell of spring. I think all of you know that smell I'm talking about. That smell of newness, novedad. And spring is a symbol of a new beginning, right? In fact, we use the word spring cleaning. It's like, doing inventory on your life and saying, okay, después del invierno, think of a bear when he comes out of hibernation. Okay, it's time to turn over a new leaf. Y ahí tienes otra expresión que tiene que ver con esto. To turn over a new leaf, in Spanish you say, pasar página. So welcome to spring, a brand new edition. A new chance to kick some ass. Welcome, Show with No Namers. It's a pleasure. An absolute pleasure to have you here with us today on our second to last show before the Easter break, amigos. And remember, if you're looking at, most of you are already looking at your summer holidays and your summer plans, don't forget about our weekend camps.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go.
Come on.
Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
All right, amigos, welcome to our pop quiz here on the show with no name. As you know, we're always looking at different things. Yesterday, we took a look at the verb to get, the super useful verb to get. Yeah, oh man, that's a tough one. I hope you got it, because there's no way to get around it, folks. You need it to get by. Dios. Even when you get up in the morning and you get going, te pongas, o sea, lo acabo de hacer 5 veces sin querer. You know, not even making an effort here. Well, today we're going to take a look at vocabulario en inglés que deberías conocer. It is penned by the one and only Richard Vaughan. Written, another way to say written is penned. Viene de bolígrafo. Es doble N, penned. Well, I'll tell you why, because a lot of my students mix up the pronunciation of the word written. They say written, right? It's write, wrote, written. So this was penned by the master himself, Richard Vaughan, the guy who started the Vaughan method. And it's got over 4,500 vocabulary words that you should know. It's called Vocabulario en Inglés que deberías conocer. I highly recommend it. Now, are you ready for this? The best part? The clincher, look at te agarra aquí. It's under 10 euros. It's $9.95 for 4,500 vocabulary words in your arsenal. And does it come with audio? Well, you can bet your bottom dollar it does. Like all our materials at the Vaughan Tienda, it comes with audio, exciting audio. When I say audio, I don't mean this is the beginning. Esto es el principio. As you can hear, all our teachers, our content creators, they put a little oomph into it. Poco de chispa. And that's part of the Vaughan method too. The method is not just about do this and you'll get this, but it's also about the teacher being the vehicle, right? The cheerleader, your best friend and your worst enemy in the same breath. Because I won't let you forget your mistakes. And I'm not going to let you get away. Vimos eso ayer también. I'm not going to let you get away with them. Salir ileso, right? So you can get over 5 hours of audio and over 4,500 vocabulary words for under 10 euros. It's at the Vaughan Tienda, vaughantienda.com. And we're going to listen to a little excerpt now from Vocabulario en Inglés que deberías conocer. And then, as always, I will have a challenge for you, Show with No Namers. Here we go. Listen carefully.
List 33.
Al principio.
At first.
Comparado con.
Compared to. Compared with.
Algo frío. Fresco.
Cool.
Durante.
During.
Énfasis.
Emphasis.
Sobre.
Envelope.
En todas partes.
Everywhere.
Divertido.
Fun.
Nieta.
Granddaughter.
Hielo.
Ice.
Además de.
In addition to.
Pedazo. Trozo.
Piece.
Educado.
Polite.
Riesgo.
Risk.
Hasta ahora.
So far.
Estable.
Stable.
Convertirse en. Llegar a ser.
To become.
Llevar.
To carry.
Copiar.
To copy.
Bailar.
To dance.
Estar en desacuerdo.
To disagree.
Levantarse.
To get up.
Odiar.
To hate.
¿Qué quieres decir?
What do you mean?
Preocupado.
Worried.
List 34.
Fondo. Parte inferior.
Bottom.
Circunstancias.
Circumstances.
Casualidad.
Coincidence.
Curso.
Course.
Sentimientos.
Feelings.
Cifras.
Figures.
Extranjero. Adjetivo.
Foreign.
Agradable.
Pleasant.
Seguro. Libre de peligro.
Safe.
Delgado.
Thin.
Comprobar.
To check.
Conversar sobre un tema.
To discuss.
Dividir.
To divide.
Notar.
To notice.
Progresar.
To progress.
Sustituir.
To replace.
Empezar.
To start.
Quedarse. Permanecer.
To stay.
Nadar.
To swim.
Escribir a máquina.
To type.
Esperar.
To wait.
Verdadero. Verdad.
True.
Vista.
View.
¿Qué clase de?
What kind of?
Maravilloso.
Wonderful.
All right, folks. Well, that was wonderful. You've got adjectives, nouns, verbs, and remember, it's up to you to repeat after them, whether you're looking at a translation list, whether you're looking at phrasal verbs book, or even one of my many books. As you guys know, I have 5 books that I've personally penned, and another 10 aside from that, 15 that I have lent my voice to, or I've worked on in some way or contributed to. So, folks, if what you're looking for is self-study, you can go over to the Vaughn Tienda, and for peanuts, por poca cosa, you can pick up some really valuable resources. And you know what? With the summer right around the corner, whether you're going to go to a summer camp or send the kids to summer camp or urban camps or just going to sit by the pool and study, it doesn't matter. We've got you covered. You can contact us at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. There's a website with all our special deals and what we've got going on. And if you're following on social media, you'll be able to be in the know as well. All right, here's what I want from you guys. I've chosen all 3 of these words because they can be a bit tricky. All right, and we'll see why afterwards. So as always, there's a method to my madness. No hay un método detrás de todo lo que hago, a esta locura. And I'm going to give you 3 things now, and I don't just want you to give me 3 words, but I want you to use them in context. All right? The first one is sobre. Sobre. And it's not over. I mean sobre where you put a letter, right? Or you put a report, un informe, una carta. Sobre. All right, that is the first word. And I don't just want you to give me a word. I never want that. I want you to show me that you can use it, and preferably in a way that you would naturally use it. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? All right. The second word is tía, your mother's sister or your father's sister. Tía. Of course, I want you to use it in context. Why not think of your tía favorita? We've all got one. And the last one, extranjero, como adjetivo. Well, you can use it persona. Show me that you know how to use that word extranjero that we looked at. All right? That is your pop quiz. Use all of them in context. And again, this way I know you know more than just the word, but you know how to use it in its natural habitat.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. Available at Vaughan Tienda, along with many other amazing materials. Let's see who's here with us live in our chat room and ready to rock. Also, a shout out to all of the students who can't join us live every day, who tune in via podcast or they listen via the internet. However you tune in, there's no wrong way to learn English. As long as you're having fun and you are participating, well, then you are an active part of our show. Whether you're here with us live or not, we love you just the same. There's David, front row center. Hello, sir. David, I see that lately, últimamente, you've been here with bells on. Has estado aquí con muchas ganas, listo para acción, with bells on. And I think that's magical. There we go. There's a magician if I've ever seen one, especially when it comes to our spelling bee. And I'm talking about none other than Born to Iron Man. Good morning to you, sir. Pleasure to have you with us as always. Laura, lovely Laura, lovely, lively Laura, que tiene mucha energía también. And she says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha and make the most of these 2 magical hours. Well, now that you're here, Laura, we know you're going to make the most of it, and you'll set an example for all the rest of the students, as you always do. So keep up the great work. Speaking of, Laura is the first person to participate in our pop quiz. Wow, you were fast there, Laura. You waste no time. I love it. Let's see how she did. But I have a hunch, I have a feeling, a hunch, una corazonada, that she did a great job. So the first one, I have to buy some envelopes because I need to send some letters. That is perfect. Now, the reason I chose the word envelope is because here's what you need to pronounce it with me, folks. Envelope or envelope? Can you give me an envelope or an envelope? Both are totally accepted. Which one sounds better to you? Use that one. Or which one do you pronounce better? So I think probably envelope. Pues más como parecido en un sonido en español que envelope. So on suena como encima and envelope suena como enganche, no, entretenimiento. Nunca me sale esa palabra. So let's say it both ways. Envelope and envelope. I have to buy some envelopes because I need to send some letters. Great. Awesome. The second one, my aunt is Italian. So when she comes to Spain to visit me, she's a foreigner. Yes. Yes, 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 Laura. So let's take a look here. She used a couple different things in one, and it makes sense. So my aunt is Italian. I love how you capitalized Italian because nationalities are capitalized in English. Empiezan con mayúscula. The same as days of the week and months, right? I know you don't capitalize those in Spanish. That's why I'm mentioning it here. Also, the reason I chose the word aunt is you can say aunt or aunt. You see a pattern here? Te dije que eran palabras un poco especiales, ¿no? Por decirlo. So let's pronounce it both ways. Así lo sabes. Y así sabes que esas son las dos. No hay variaciones. Ant, que suena como hormiga. Yo lo digo así. My aunt has an ant farm. Si te ayuda. But some people, y a mí me suena más pijotería, but hey, everybody says it how they want as long as it's like an accepted one, and they both are. It's like either and either. Which one do you use? Either one. Either one. Okay. All right. So yes, aunt or aunt. And the next word, the third one was foreigner. And that is a word that I hear mispronounced a lot. Now, the good news about that one is there's only one pronunciation in English. Foreign es puede ser el adjetivo. There is a foreign object in his rib cage, no, en su costillar. A foreign. Okay, so say it, foreign. Y ya, si podemos decir foreign, pues añadimos el ER. So she's a foreigner, que es un grupo buenísimo. Any foreigner fans out there? It's an awesome group. All right, also, I've got a bonus question for you here, folks. Since last week on FYI, we took a look at extreme sports. There's an idiomatic expression with the word envelope. Does anybody want to tell me that? Does anybody know it? It's a totally native if you know it. Bonus question. There's an idiomatic expression in English about taking risks, and it has something to do with an envelope. If you know it, you could give it to me, and I'll give you a bonus over there. I see we've got Chris, we've got Leo, so many students participating in our pop quiz. But right now, we've got to go to a commercial break, folks. So we'll take a look at Chris's answers and Leo's answers. Also, Born to Iron Man. Excellent. So many students participating in our pop quiz. Then when we come back, we'll also have our Say What soundbite. One of my favorite scenes in movie history, but it's not easy. Okay, so there's good news here. It's an awesome scene. It's an awesome movie, but it's not going to be easy to figure out. It's not going to be a walk in the park, as we say, pan comido. We've also got our spelling bee and so much more up ahead. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. I really can't believe it, but this is the second to last show before Easter. And then we'll be back in April. You know the expression? April showers, and showers doesn't mean ducha aquí. It means lluvias de abril. April showers bring May flowers. I think you have a similar thing in Spanish, right? April showers bring May flowers. Well, folks, join us here at Vaughan. The spring is the perfect time to plan your summer. If you're looking for anything about summer camps for you, residentials, Vaughan Town, Weekend Town, Vaughan Scouts, the Disney courses. I mean, we have everything. Online courses, video conferences. Maybe you would just want to do it from the comfort of your own home. Hey, that's a really important thing. If you're comfortable, if you're in your favorite pajamas, you're cozy, wearing your favorite PJs, having a nice cup of joe, you're going to speak better English than maybe being in an office environment. So take a look at that. Don't rule it out. So many options. Go to grupovaughan.com, barra, which is slash, cursos destacados. Either way, if you go to Google and punch in Grupo Vaughan, it'll take you to our website, amigos. All right, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? Your Say What soundbite. Probably one of my favorite actors. Definitely one of the most talented actors to ever walk the face of the earth, folks. That might sound like an overstatement, una exageración, but it isn't. This guy is one of the greats, and he will always be. And this scene, the first time I saw this movie, I didn't even recognize him. It's what we call a chameleon actor. Un actor, no, chameleon? How do you say that, little lizard? Well, folks, this guy is intense. I don't even think you'll recognize his voice because this character looks nothing like him. sounds nothing like him, and it's just a testament to his amazing acting. And I'm not going to give you any more clues, but I will warn you, as I said before, this one is not going to be easy, folks. So here it is, your Say What soundbite for the first time.
See? You ain't even sat down yet.
And that TV over there, since you've been in the room, is a woman with her breasts is hanging out.
You ain't even bothered to look. You just been clocking me.
I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
Now, I got to tell you something. A shout out to Rob Grams, because I know if Rob Grams is listening to this right now, he doesn't have to listen to it twice to know exactly what movie it's from and who it is. Rob, are you listening? Write me a what's up right now if you know this movie. I'm sure you know this movie. It's a great movie, an amazing scene, and anybody who loves acting and movies, this is man, I can't wait to let the cat out of the bag. Tengo ganas de decíroslo, but not yet. Wait for it. All right, let me give it to you for the second time. As you've noticed, there's some techno music, so obviously that gives us some information as to where they are. Let's see if you can understand what this guy's saying. Here it is for the second time.
See? You ain't even sat down yet.
And that TV over there, since you've been in the room, is a woman with her breasts is hanging out.
You ain't even bothered to look. You just been clocking me.
I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
Do you know about Vaughn Groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn Groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn Groups are for you.
All right, folks, Vaughn Groups, just one of our many amazing programs that are designed to not only teach you English, but get you excited about it. That's what we do here on Vaughn Radio, or at least that's what we aim to do. All right, let's go on over to our live virtual classroom over here, where our show with no namers participate day in, day out, proving that they've got what it takes to communicate in English. And not just communicate, to communicate clearly, to get their point across with confidence and ease. And nobody does that more than Chris Valrol. Let's see what she has to say. She says, "Morning, dear show with no namers. Put the letter in an envelope. My aunt was pretty tall. The foreign boy taught us fascinating things. Chris, nice job." Oh, and another thing, ya que estamos con lo de foreign. I had a guy tell me, "Oh yeah, I was in The Foreigner." I was like, that sound, estaba dentro de una extranjera, de un extranjero o extranjera. So, si queremos decir en el extranjero, we don't say in The Foreigner. You can say I was in a foreign country, but why? When you can say I was overseas or I was abroad. Pero por favor, no digas abroad. It's abroad. So I was overseas. I studied overseas. I studied abroad. Not in the foreigner. Dentro de la persona que es extranjera. A common mistake. I've heard it many, many times in my over 20 years of experience. Excellent job, Chris Valrol. There is Leo, lively Leo. What's up, good buddy? Great to have you on board, as always. He says, I wanted to send a letter, but I couldn't find a single envelope at home. You know what? It's true, Leo. That's a true story. That happened to me, too. I'm like, I'm going to write and then I'm like, do we have envelopes? Oops. I mean, when we were younger, we always had envelopes. You even had stationery at home. Stationery es el papel, el boli, todo el kit, no? And now we're just drooling over our screens, nuestras pantallas. So great, excellent example. It really struck a nerve. Para mí tocó la fibra sensible. I was in that situation. Actually, I should say I've been in that situation many times. Number 2, that letter was for my Aunt Solita, who was sick. All right, I hope she's okay now. And he says she is a foreigner and lives in Vienna. Wonderful. And as I said, rock and rollers, do you guys are you fans of the group Foreigner? You know Foreigner? They have probably their most famous song is I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. They also have another one called Urgent. A shout out to Claire Williams because the song goes, so urgent, urgent, I'm so urgent. And I used to sing, sea urchin, erizo. Hey, it's like huevos con aceite. The classic, right? Or yo quiero una manzana. Another great one by the band Foreigner. I've been waiting for a girl like you. Presente perfecto continuo ahí. I've been waiting for a girl like you. And perhaps, like, I think this one's my favorite one. She's as cold as ice. So not just a great band, and we can practice the pronunciation there, but also amazing songs that we can learn other things from as well, other English concepts. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, I really miss my aunt's envelopes. In addition to this, it'd be great to have more. So, yeah, te añadí la T yo, pero no lo has puesto tú. Born to Iron Man. So, tú has puesto I'd, pero ahí sería it would. So, it'd, te falta una T. It'd be great to have more foreigners in our cyclist group. Because only is in Colin the Scot rider. I don't understand. Like he's Scottish. I don't know Colin over there. I'm a little bit confused with the end there, but good usage of the words aunt, envelope, and foreigners. All right, also, Born to Iron Man going for the bonus. He says, I always push the envelope if I wear a bib number in athletics. Great job to push the envelope. And in this case, they're not talking about an envelope like a piece of paper that you put a letter in. In here, they're talking about the flight, en cuanto a un avión, los parámetros, the envelope. So, interesting. Yo siempre decía, ¿qué tiene que ver esto con un sobre? Nada. It's another usage of the word. Born to Iron Man says, marzo ventoso y abril lluvioso. Sacan a mayo florido y hermoso. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that one. Ours is pretty easy and it rhymes. pero tengo que acordarme cómo decirlo. Primero, April showers bring May flowers. Joder. It's as old as time itself. April showers bring May flowers. And what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. No. Did anybody get it? So April showers bring May flowers. And what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Supposedly, the ship that the first pilgrims went to the United States on was called the Mayflower. ¿Lo pillas ahora? ¿Qué traen Mayflowers? Pues los peregrinos. Chris Valrol, she also remembers the expression from the Extreme Sports episode. If you haven't listened to those episodes, give them a listen. The Extreme Sports episodes of FYI came out just last week. Tomorrow, you got a brand spanking new episode on propaganda. And I think it's never been more pertinent. Because if you think, okay, we're going to talk about the Nazis, right? Their propaganda machine. But it made me realize I think we're under more propaganda now than ever before. It's an information war, with, think about it, social media companies, big tech has so much power. Why? They can control the narrative, correct? Indoctrination, they can affect elections. We already know Facebook has interfered in elections. It's crazy. So propaganda may seem like some old, thing that is from, back in the day and Goebbels and all. Yeah, it's alive and well, sadly, right? In fact, most news these days, you just have to see who their sponsors are, and then you'll see that they never talk bad about them. A perfect example. Who owns the Washington Post, or WAPO as we call it? WAPO. W-A-P-O. WAPO. The Washington Post. Who owns it? Jeff Bezos. Amazon's Jeff Bezos. You think they're going to put out an article talking trash about Amazon? I think they'll find another company to attack. Or just, there's no room in the paper for that story, and, we're not going to attack. We're not going to bite the hand that feeds, como va la expresión. So very interesting episode. It opened my eyes to many things, because when I think of the word propaganda, I think of way back when, another time and place. The world, the wars, the Japanese, even an American but interesting. Laura. So Chris says he loves pushing the envelope and reaching summits. Excellent job with the bonus. Laura as well. Laura says most extreme sport athletes are hooked on pushing the envelope to achieve feats nobody else has achieved before. That's correct. To go where no man has gone before. Isn't that Star Trek? I don't know. I'm not a Trekkie. All right, guys, wonderful job, really. German is in the house. Great to have you with us, German. German says, the Minister of Foreign Affairs sent my aunt a letter because he wanted to have a date with her. Oh, wow, this is getting interesting. But she thought she was in trouble with the law and just burnt the envelope as soon as it arrived. It's not only perfect, German, but it's a funny story. And German says, guys, I miss participating in the live show. Hey, German, we miss you too. And whenever you can join us, it's always a pleasure to have you. Don't forget, guys, if you can't tune in live, it's all right. You can still participate as if it were live. Just listen to it wherever you have podcasts. In fact, when we first started, we were just on iVox, on podcasts. And now, thankfully, if you're an Apple podcast user or Spotify or whatever, well, you can find us over there as well. Again, podcasts in the radio world are just a convenient way to make sure you never miss an episode. It's like when you record something. You guys remember TiVo? You watch TV on demand. So you don't, I can't listen to the show with no name tomorrow at 10:30. Well, I can listen to it at 2 p.m. on my own time. So that's one of the reasons podcasts are so popular these days. But we love you just the same, folks, whether you're here live or whether you're tuned in via podcast. The every day when I'm giving you guys encouragement, aliento, it's for all of you, okay? The ones who are there behind the scenes doing their hard work as well and having fun with us. Chris says, I know Foreigner, of course. Chris, you and I are around the same age, right? Because we know the same, we like and know the same movies, the same music. Although you look a lot younger than I do. So I don't mean it because of the look. I mean it because of our, the things we have in common. Laura says, talking about the very difficult Say What soundbite today. Laura says, the only thing I could make out, wait a second. Descifrar, averiguar. Wow, Laura, wow. That is native. The only thing I could make out, adivinar, descifrar, is a man talking about women's breasts and saying that he's not as pretty as a couple of titties. He doesn't sound that nice. Well, Laura, you freaking nailed it. He's not nice. He is talking about breasts, pechos, titties, tetillas, I guess would be the translation. Yes. So, let's see. Excellent job, though, Laura. Even though you didn't catch all of it, you got the gist of it, and you gave your opinion. Doesn't sound like a really nice guy, which, that shows me your personality, too. Laura says, I know foreigners, too. You mean Foreigner, right? The group. Porque ahí suena como, yo conozco extranjeros también. Sin ese, si hablas del grupo. Let's see. Leo is participating in our Say What soundbite, and he says, it is a scene in which two youngsters, not old men, in a nightclub are commenting on what appears on the local tube, la tele local. A girl with big tits who they believe could have a real romance with her. Wow. Leo, if you're trying to give me a clue, that's incredible. Did you do that on purpose, Leo? Because that last sentence, if you did that on purpose, you're showing me that you know what movie it is. And you're very good at those clues, Leo. Really good at them. So, guys, great to have Leo and German here with us. And I'm not just saying it. I'm summarizing a lot of different comments. Comments from Laura, Chris, all your fellow students. It's a pleasure to have you here with us live. We missed ya. All right, Chris Valrol says, I'm not sure. I was thinking you might know the movie, Chris. I know you'll know it once I tell you it. You'll be like, of course I know that movie. I just didn't put two and two together. All right, Chris says, I'm not sure. But I heard two men. One of them speaks a mile a minute. Wow, Chris. You guys sound, I'm telling you, you sound like the most native students I've ever heard in my life. And I've been teaching for 20 years, guys. So this is really, every day, you're impressing me with how you put your words together, how you're not using the, I feel fine, but you're using a different way to say it. You guys are really pushing the envelope, expandiendo los límites. So keep it up. So one of them speaks a mile a minute. I'd say one of them is British with a hard accent. You can say hard accent also, Chris, and all of you. Another word we often use with an accent that's difficult to understand, we say a thick, como grueso, espeso, a thick accent. Es como una de estas como majestic and mountains, right? Shiny and sea, los mares que brillan. Certain words that just go together. And she says, I only caught a few words. Rules set down yet? All right, well, as I told you, it's not going to be easy. The good news, it's definitely doable. And we're going to take a look at it. At the end of it, we will definitely demystify it. And I imagine, I would say like 60 to 70% of you are familiar with this movie and maybe even love the movie. Now, Leo, I am still curious, though. You got to tell me, did you do that on purpose? That in the last sentence there, you said a word that makes me believe that you know what movie it is. And that would mean you're the only one there. And that means, damn, you are good, man. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. Right now, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got homophones. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite again as well. We've also got our spelling bee and so much more. Movies, music, Double Trouble, famous birthdays, and so much more up ahead. And the best part is, folks, you can interact with us in real time because, as you know, this show is as live as it gets, baby. I can make anything happen. I've got the power. Like right now, I feel like we need a storm. Oh, all right, cool. You know what I really need, though? I need a vacation. Let's go to the airport. Let's catch a flight. Let's get out of here. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back to the show with no name 2.0. 2.0 means interactive, amigos. It means you can participate in real time. If you're available every morning from 10:30 to 12:30, you can be with us live. If not, don't worry. You can still participate. The way I created this show was you can listen to an episode from 5 years ago or 5 days ago, and you can still extract a lot of English from it. But don't forget, this isn't the only show on Vaughn Radio. This is just one of the many shows that you can get hooked on English with. You can start your day with the Pro Bow Show with my friend Rob Grams. Then you've got Fitz's program, No Excuses, as the perfect way to warm up for today's show and every day's show with no name. After the show, you can test your English with Nacho and Jimena. After that, the lunchtime show with best buds, Rob and Andy, who were at my house last weekend, by the way. We had a blast. We had a BBQ. Ask them. You can ask them. Is Alberto a barbecue master or not? I can't say it. It's like anything in life. I can't tell you I'm a great teacher. My students have to tell you that, right? Some people, oh, Alberto, you're the greatest teacher. I'm like, okay. Some people might think I'm a loudmouth. Un bocazas. You know what? You're absolutely right. But don't judge me. It's easy to judge somebody else. All right, folks, it is time for another challenge here where we look at words that people often mix up. It's called homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on no name, cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right, amigos. All right. Let's take a look at these words over here. The first word I'm going to give you is a word you'd better know. Más te vale. Why? It's one of the first words you ever learn in any language, you know, like dog, cat, boy, girl. You know, it's one of those simple nouns that we all learn when we're learning a language. And the word in Spanish is reloj. Now, it's not reloj que pones en la muñeca. That's a wristwatch or a watch. I'm talking about the one on the wall, okay? It also means cronometrar. Ay, nunca me sale esa. Tomar el tiempo de alguien, okay? You run and I'm going to cronometrearte. Puf, me he metido yo ahí en ese berenjenal. Okay, so reloj y tomar el tiempo de alguien, okay? Also, it's pegar o golpear. So this is crazy. Did you know that? I know you all know the word because se usa son las 12. It's 12 esa palabra. Good. So it's pegar o golpear también. Le golpeó, le pegó. It's also to fichar. Okay, cuando vas al trabajo puedes fichar y también es fichar que te vas. Okay, si le añadimos in or out. Lo usamos en la expresión contrarreloj, se usa también en despertador. Es otra forma de decir, si lo ponemos con around the, significa 24 horas al día, constante, día y noche. Hablamos del reloj biológico. Also, it means to fichar a alguien, like to, I think you say fichar, like look them up and down, mirarles de arriba abajo, ¿no? Que te estás fijando en ellos y le estás mirando como, all right? So it's a very rich word, as we've just seen. And I hope you guys, I mean, I know you know it, but I hope you know how to pronounce it, because I want to know if it sounds like the word cloqueo. That is the sound made by a hen, right? A female chicken, a hen. So it's, cloquear, cloqueo, okay, is the word in Spanish. Cloqueo y cloquear. So it's the verb that the hen does, but it's also the noun as well. What are those two words, and do they sound exactly the same? Also, here's your very tricky, very challenging Say What soundbite for the third time. Good luck.
See? You ain't even sat down yet.
Man, that TV over there, since you've been in the room, is a woman with her breasts is hanging out.
You ain't even bothered to look. You just been clocking me.
I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English.
If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. More information about Vaughntown, you can go over to grupovon.com/cursos intensivos. We also have Weekend Town as well. We've got our summer camps. We've got our urban camps. So much going on. But don't forget, you aren't the only one who's thinking about doing something yourself or sending your kids on one of these memorable adventures. These memories will last for a lifetime, as well as the English learning. Obviously, they're going to learn English, being immersed in it, doing activities in it. Kids learn by doing, not by just, telling them, this is blue. No, give them something blue. Do an activity where you have to touch something that's blue. Now it becomes real. It becomes a tangible thing. And we know that over at Vaughn, not just with kids, guys. Adults want to play too. Come on, let's be honest. We want to play. We want to have fun as we learn. Why? Because then we'll keep coming back for more. Volvemos para más cada día. If it's tedious, if it's boring, if it's taxing, que te pasa factura, well, you're going to kind of quit. But it shouldn't be too easy and it shouldn't be too hard. That's my battle as a teacher. Being easy, going easy on you guys, no dándote mucha caña, but also letting you know I expect the best from you guys. The good thing is I always get it. Thank you. I got to say, I can't really complain. I've got wonderful students. Let's see how these students did in our homophones section. The first person to take a stab at it is Daring Daniela. Se atreve. She's going out on a limb. ¿Cómo va la expresión? And she says, and don't sound alike. Let's see. Laura says the two words are and they're not homophones. All right. German says and are not homophones. Born to Iron Man says they don't sound alike. Chris Valrol says and are not homophones. Okay, so this is unanimous here, right? She says maybe clucking is a word. Oh, excuse me. Maybe clucking is a word I heard before in the Say What soundbite. Or maybe, Chris, you're a little bit off, but you're on the right track. You catch clucking is a word. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Right? That's what. To cluck. What the cluck? I told you 10 clucking times. So let's look at the second word first, ya que estamos cachondeando aquí con el cluck. All right? So cluck, cluck, cluck. Cloqueo, it makes sense. Cluck. Okay? C-L-U-C-K. It rhymes with luck. Why? Just take away the C and you've got the word luck. So let's say it. Cluck. The chicken was clucking all morning, right? He wouldn't stop clucking, and he has a really annoying cluck. She, the chicken, the hen, has an annoying cluck because a rooster crows. A rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo. So the rooster crows and a hen clucks. I know what the cluck is going on here. I understand. I know. Cluck. Okay? Now, the first word is clock. So, voy a cronometrear. Tengo que decirlo lento, si no, no me sale. Los cazareos, los cloqueos de la gallina. I'm going to clock the chicken's clucks. I'm going to clock the chicken's clucks. They are not homophones. Excellent job. Now let's look at that first one. Cluck, we just explained, but clock, que no es clock, no es o, es una a. Clock. What time is it? It's 12 o'clock. So the first one, he's got a lot of clocks in his house, right? Because he feels like it's a race against the clock. Contrarreloj. There's the expression, right? Could you clock me? ¿Eso es pegarme o cronometrearme? Contexto es todo. I imagine you're usually asking somebody to time you. Otra forma de decir clock is to time somebody. But also the boxer clocked his opponent. Le dio un golpe, to clock. To clock in and to clock out. Well, when you go to work, you clock in. When you finish the day, you clock out. También se puede decir punch in and punch out. Why? Because punch is perforar, a hole puncher. And what used to happen, remember those old clocks? Anybody from the analog age here? You would clock in, literalmente meter la ficha, la tarjeta en esto, and it would punch in the time. So you clock in or you punch in. And then el inverso, cuando te toca salir, you punch in or you punch out or you clock out. Okay? Fichar. Marcar la tarjeta, literalmente. All right? Against the clock. We already said alarm clock. Careful, I've heard people say alarm clock. Como alarma. No, it's alarm clock. Como una sola y el énfasis está en alarm. Alarm clock. Around the clock. Día y noche. What time do you guys close? Oh, no, we never close. We're opened around the clock. Te puedes comer la A ahí. We're open round the clock, right? My biological clock is ticking. ¿Cuántas veces, right? We've seen this story. Oh, me estoy haciendo mayor. If I want to have kids, my biological clock is ticking. And that's what a clock does. A clock ticks, right? The clock face is la esfera, la carátula. We call it the face. What else? Any other? I'm sure there are many, many other ones, that idiomatic expressions. But also, as I said, to clock someone. Oh, no. Bueno, entonces tres. Guys, this could be a triple trouble. So he was clocking me. He clocked. No, vamos a ponerlo en pasado porque es este sonido T. He clocked me. Eso es, me cronometreó. Eso es, me dio un golpe en la cara. Y esto es, me estaba mirando de abajo arriba. Right? Are you clocking me? Are you, right? To clock somebody. To look up and down. Okay? To judge. También. Okay? I think he's clocking me, man. He's been looking at me all afternoon there. Y también lo decimos en el ligoteo. Dude, I think that girl's clocking you. Te está mirando arriba, abajo, te está echando miradas. And it can be good or bad. But to clock is fichar. Maybe there it's like a fichar a alguien. Ese mirar, te estoy fichando, eh? Look visualmente. I don't know. I'm just trying to explain it. Maybe you guys will know the exact Spanish word. It doesn't matter. The important part is that you get the meaning of it. So the word clock, say it with me. Clock rhymes with lock, no? Cerradura, block, bloque, talk, tick tock, tick tock. The clock goes tick tock. Excellent job, amigos. All right, we've got a lot of stuff to do. So what we're going to do right now is one of the most challenging sections, our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, amigos, it's our spelling bee here on the show with no name, and let's see what we've got for you in today's spelling bee. As always, we're going to spell 6 words here, and let's capitalize the first letter of each word just for the sake of simplicity. As always, round 1 is hell on earth. You're not supposed to get it, but if you do, amazing job. These words all have something in common. As always, good luck. The first word is Augusta. The second word is Lobster. The third word is Moose. The fourth word is Lighthouses. The fifth word is Blueberries. And the sixth one is Rocky space Coastline. And while you guys are thinking that through, here's the teaser for the upcoming episode of FYI on propaganda. Calling all FYIers. I need your undivided attention for this matter of utmost importance. While this week's show may manipulate your mind and leave you in a trance, you can bet your bottom dollar we are going to learn lots of useful English, laugh out loud, and be spellbound through and through. That is, as long as you obey and consume. Join me as we take a peek at the powerful weapon known as propaganda on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info. En inglés. You got it. That's right, folks. Propaganda. Lots of great expressions in there. And remember, if you have any ideas for upcoming episodes of FYI for topics, let me know. Not here, not now. Send me a message. You can reach me on social media easily. All right, let's see if anybody got these words on the first go over here. Let's see. The first person to take a stab at it is Chris Valrol. Chris, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one's right. The fourth one is right. The fifth one is right. And the sixth one is also right. Hallelujah. 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 Also, it looks like Born to Iron Man, Laura as well. So give it up for Chris, Born to Iron Man, and Laura. Unbelievable. I flew through it, and you guys not only got it quickly, but you got it accurately. So kudos to you, and you can sit out. Sit back. Échate para atrás, sit back, relax, and enjoy this second round. This second round is going to be in a very normal, very average, not average, slower than average. Let's put it this way. Okay, because average would be somewhere between the two. So this is like English teacher, ARBL. And this is, native person, ARBL, XL. So somewhere in between those two is where I try to go here. Okay? Here we go. The first one is AUGUSTA. The second one is LOBSTER. The third one is MOOSE. The fourth one is LIGHTHOUSES. The fifth one is BLUEBERRIES. And the sixth and final word in today's spelling bee, it's actually two words. It's the only one that's two words. ROCKY space C-O-A-S-T-L-I-N-E. All right, amigos. Does anybody know what these words have in common? That's the real question here now that you guys nailed it. All right. Well, what if I told you a little fact, a little today in history, TIH, as they say. Excuse me. If you ever see TIH, it's today in history, or on this day in history, OTDH, no me acuerdo, pero esos abreviaturas are on this day in history or today in history. And today in history, my amigos, Maine was admitted as the 23rd U.S. state. Maine. Have I ever been to Maine? Depends. Do you count being on the airplane, like not getting off the plane, as being somewhere? Because if you do, then I've been to Maine. But if you never really disembark, you're on the plane, does it count? You never really touch land, not with your feet. So technically, I've never been to Maine, really. But I remember one time coming back from Spain. We were flying back from Madrid. I was a little youngster, un jovenzuelo. And it was weird because now planes can fly 19 hours. Some of them, not all of them. They can fly 19 hours without refueling. There's a flight from Newark, which is right by New York City, to Singapore. Okay, direct flight. All right, all the seats, they're all business, though. There's no economy class or coach, as we call it. And I remember back in the day, they would have to make these little stops. And one time we stopped in the Azores. The good thing is I learned about, even though I didn't get off the plane, I learned about them because I would ask my mom, where are we now? And my mom said, we're in the Azores. I'm like, the Azores? And as you guys, Los Azores, you say, the Azores. We stopped there one time to refuel. And another time we stopped, I'll never forget it, in Bangor, Maine, because I had never heard of Bangor, Maine. I mean, I've heard of Portland, which is not to be confused with Portland, Oregon. But the capital of Maine is the first word on our list, Augusta. Augusta. You say Augusta, right? We say Augusta. Number 2 was lobster. Anybody getting hungry? Langosta. The insects, the giant insects of the sea, but they're expensive. Lobster, langosta. Then you've got moose, which is alce americano. And these are all things you can find in Maine. Lighthouses. Lighthouses, you say faros. Number 5, blueberries. Los arándanos, pero los azules, no los rojos, que son cranberries. Pero aquí, blueberries. And it's also known for its rocky coastline. Su litora, you say, or litoral, rocosa. Speaking of rock, let's get some rock and roll to go into our last commercial break. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. I hope you guys are having fun, and I hope you'll stay tuned. We've got great shows all day long right now. Well, we've always had great shows, but I feel like our schedule I love how you call it a barbecue, parrilla. Our grill, no. Our schedule, our timetable here at the radio, I think we've got some of the greatest shows we've ever had. And we've had some amazing shows. But just the amount of variety, the wide range of accents and, points of view that you'll hear here on Vaughn Radio. Download our free app, and this way you can learn English with us everywhere, even at the dentist's office. Oh, and a shout out to my dentist. She's also learning English with us. Yesterday, she's like, oh, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, then be nice to me. Entonces, pórtate bien conmigo, please. And then you know what she said? She said, you know the drill. You get my joke? You know the drill. No? I'll explain it. You know the drill es tú sabes cómo van los tiros, tú sabes cómo va la cosa, no te lo tengo que explicar. You know the drill, but also a drill is what a dentist uses, right? A dentist uses a drill. They go zzz. So did you get my joke? You know the drill. There are more where that came from, folks. But right now it's time for Double. Sing it. Double trouble. Come on now.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah,
you know what time it is.
Give it up. Double. Double trouble. I said double. Double trouble. Double. Double trouble. I said double. Double trouble.
All right, folks, today's double trouble over here. Let's see if you can figure it out. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, my bad here. Did I say double trouble? All right. It's a double trouble. So you got to use two sets of words here. My goodness. Yeah, I just realized it. Okay. But you know what? You've been doing such a great job so far that I'm betting on you guys. I think someone's going to get it. So here we go. La cañería principal, okay, tiene una fuga, pero voy a echar una meadita antes de arreglarlo. I know, it's a funny sentence, but we're looking at double meanings here, and today you've got two double meanings. So, la cañería principal tiene una fuga, pero voy a echar una meadita antes de arreglarlo. If you know how to use the same word twice there, do it. And even if you don't, take a stab at it. You've got nothing to lose, amigos. And here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. Good luck.
See? You ain't even sat down yet.
And that TV over there, since you've been in the room, is a woman with her breasts is hanging out.
You ain't even bothered to look. You just been clocking me.
I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
Howdy, Richard Vaughn here, founder and host of Vaughn Radio. Meet my amazing team.
Hello there, this is Julia from the Let's Get Random show. Let's navigate life together, practicing our English.
Hi, this is Kyle Miller. I present the Drive Time Show every day at 6 o'clock on Vaughn Radio.
Hi, this is Jimena.
Y yo soy Nacho.
And you can listen to us every day on Test Your English
a las 12:30
at 12:30. Tune in.
This is Fitz from No Excuses. Let's get ready to rumble. Come rumble with me on No Excuses.
This is Chris with Frankly Speaking. The doors open every night at 7:30. Let's talk soon.
Hi, this is Dave Boyes from The Salad. Join us every day, live at 5.
Hey, it's Alberto Alonso from The Show with No Name. And don't forget about Rob, Andy, Ruby, and Tino.
Download our free app, Vaughan Radio or Vaughn Radio. and learn English with all of us on the go.
All right, folks, that's right. You know it, all different shows. And if you can't catch them live, you might have your favorites. You can always listen to us on iVox, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, and so on and so forth. All right, let's take a look. Chris Valrol says, regarding the say what, I know what movie it is, te falta el it, but I watched it in Spanish. Then forgive me, Chris, you haven't watched it. Like, no, trust me. Too many good actors. And again, I think people, it's like when you say you don't like Joe Biden, they think you automatically like Trump. You get what I mean? Like it's not black and white, guys. You know, I feel like things are black and white sometimes to people with that. And when I say that you should watch something in its original version, I'm not saying that the voiceover actors don't do a great job. Quite the contrary. They do such a damn good job that none of you speak English. Well, that's not true anymore because now people watch things in their original version. But just because I've had people say, why are you telling people not to watch stuff? You're denigrating our work. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. If I'm going to watch, a Fellini film, I'm going to watch it in Italian. I don't know. I just feel like that's normal. The thing that's not normal is putting it in your language. But if you can do it, if there's an industry from it and it's good and it works, great. Do it. But it's never talking again. I think that you guys have such good voiceover actors that a lot of you just said, well, I'll just be lazy and I'll watch it in Spanish. And I get it. You don't want to think when you're watching a movie, but the more movies you watch, the less you have to think. That's the way it works. And there's nothing like this guy's voice over here. Because Chris, you said that he sounds British. He is British, but he doesn't sound British here. He's trying to sound like a white guy trying to sound like a black guy. Hey, man. He even has a line. He goes, hey, it's white boy day. It's Dia del Chico del Blanco. And he's not. So really awesome character. And this movie has a star-studded cast. So you're going to want to see this one in English. And she says, I like its name in Spanish, but I'd rather the English one. Yeah, the translations aren't really, they don't line up. No alinea, no encajan there. All right, let's see. Laura says she's trying today's double trouble. She says the main pipe has a leak, but I'm going to take a leak before fixing it. All right. I see leak over there once. I don't see the other one, the main pipe. And that's but okay. Is that maybe okay? I'm looking for the double word there. I don't see it, but good. Well, the main pipe is fine. It's correct. The main pipe has a leak, but I'm going to take a leak before fixing it. Chris says the main pipe has a leak. I'm going to take a leak before fixing it. Yeah. All right. We're on the right track. Vamos a dejarlo así. Por buen camino sí que vamos. We are definitely on the right track here. All right. Let's see. Chris says years ago, it was challenging to find movies in original version. Now I love hearing actors' voices. Well, that's another thing too. The way we consume things has changed. So people are, subtitles are available faster. Everything's moving at a different speed. And if you want to watch something like, for example, I know some people, I'm not like this, but some people are like the new episode of, Game of Thrones or whatever. House of Cards is out. I'm going to watch it. I want to watch it the minute it comes out. I don't want any spoilers. Then you have to watch it in English. That, if you're looking for the latest, up to the minute, we're talking about English in many cases, in the entertainment industry at least. So great, Chris. The same has happened to my wife. At first, I used to have to kind of beg and twist her arm No, forzarla, come on, put it in English. I can't watch. Muévete del medio, maldito cabrón. I'm like, okay, but that's a little bit too much there. This is my problem, the overacting thing. I like it. I get it. You're acting. I get it. You're acting. And it's very important to express your emotions when you're acting. But also, you don't want to go too far because then we're going back to that campy 1950s style Hollywood. And we've come a long way since then. In fact, now in Hollywood, there's this tendency, this trend to underact, to be like, I'm having a really bad day. Like to not even say the words. So it's funny how very different styles there, very different. Because some people say, oh man, Constantino Perez or whatever his name is. They said, he's awesome, man. He was really awesome. And I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was. And they even said, he speaks better than the real Bruce Willis in Die Hard. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how can you speak better than the real person? Like, I don't know. Like, he was the guy who got cast in the role. So, and also, again, it's two very different styles of acting. Bruce Willis has never been an overactor. He's actually played more of the Brando type, subtle, muy sutil. So you're never going to see Bruce Willis be like, I'm having a really bad day. No, he's going to be like, I'm having a really bad day. Like he'll barely say it. Apenas lo dice. So I think that's what it is. People are used to like this booming, yo soy John McClane. And yeah, it sounds cool, but it's not what he sounds like. So again, that's open to interpretation. But from a language standpoint, I recommend you watch anything in its original version. And for me, as I said, I can't watch something knowing that the real voice is there below. So nobody take offense there, but that's, I'll die on that hill. Como decimos, muero en esa colina. And as Chris said, it's hard at first, like everything. But how do you do it at first? Watch all your favorite movies that you haven't seen in English. Start there. You got a lot. How many movies have you seen in your life that you love? Well, watch all of those in English. That'll give you some homework to get you through the summer and beyond. All right, let's see. German is taking a stab at our double trouble. And he says, the water main has a leak, but I'm going to take a leak before I water it down. All right, to water, I like it. Guys, let me give you an applause here for effort. Because we're all on the right track here. But to water something down is what Americans do with their coffee. Aguarlo, no, demasiado agua. To water it down, okay? How do they do it with the house liquor, el garrafón. They water it down. Se me olvida la palabra en español, but I think you get it. All right, well, let me help you because you guys, you've almost got it here. Like almost. You can't get any closer here. And I'm going to give it to you. So the first part is the main water main. O sea, you can call it a pipe, pero la principal is the water main. The one that brings, the water main is the pipe that brings the water to all the other pipes. O sea, piénsalo, el principal del agua. So the main water main, o sea, la cañería principal, the main water main. Ya, es redundante, pero el otro día oí la palabra water main. I'm like, Y luego hemos hablado hoy de Maine, el estado. All right? So the main water main has a leak or is leaking. But I'm going to take a leak before I fix it. Are you ready for a little celebration? It's time for famous birthday trivia. All right, amigos, let's see who's celebrating a birthday today, my amigos. All right, the first person was born in 1986. He's an actor, but his father is much more famous than he is. That's right. His father is probably one of the most famous actors ever. He played Dirty Harry. Harry el Sucio. Ese se tradujo bien. He also played, the man with, he was in the Fistful of Dollars. He's filmed many movies in Almeria. But no, I'm not talking about the dad. I'm talking about his son. His son, who was born in 1986. He's the son of this famous actor and a flight attendant, de tripulación. This guy has been in Flags of Our Fathers, Gran Torino, that's father and son are both in that movie, Invictus, Texas Chainsaw, the 2013 one, Suicide Squad, Snowden, The Fate of the Furious, Wrath of Men, Wrath is Ida, The Wrath of Men, Fast X, and many other movies. And he bears some resemblance to his dad. Eso se parece algo a su padre. All right, number two then. Number two, this person was born in 1945, and she is an American singer and keyboardist, teclas. And she was best known for being one of the lead singers and a keyboardist in Sly and the Family Stone. Do you know Sly and the Family Stone? I'm sure you do. Dance to the music. Everybody dance to the music. And also, I am everyday people. And Sly and the Family Stone, they kind of mixed funk, soul, R&B, rock. Even they had a rock element and even a psychedelic element as well. And so many songs of theirs that you'll know, but you'll be like, estos son Sly, que también significa astuto, sly as a fox. So she was in Sly and the Family Stone, and she was born today in 1945. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. And a lot of people say that they were a turning point, this group, in black music, in soul music. Because before that, it was just soul, it was just R&B, the kind of music that colored people, black people, they called them colored people back then, made was very specific. You couldn't really leave gospel, that. And these guys went everywhere. They proved, hey, we're black, but we can do rock and roll. We can do a little bit of hip hop. We can do pop music, funk, whatever. And we can mix it and make it all sound great. And they have got some serious bangers. And a banger es un temazo, no? All right, and the last one. This guy was born today in 1958, pero no es un hombre viejo. Pero eso es su apellido en inglés. He's an English actor, filmmaker, musician, and author who was born today in 1958. He is, I would say, one of my favorite actors alive. He was in Bram Stoker's Dracula, True Romance, which you call Amor a Quemarropa. We call it True Romance. That is one of the greatest movies ever. The Fifth Element, Air Force One. He played Sirius Black. He's been in Dawn of Planet of the Apes. He played Winston Churchill. You won't even recognize him from movie to movie. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner today, Chris Valrol. Number one, Scott Eastwood. Number two, Rose Stone from Sly and the Family Stone. And number three, Gary Oldman. Y quiero que os fijéis aquí que no digo old man. Cuando es apellido, it's Min. Oldman. Dilo conmigo. It's Gary Oldman. And if you've not seen this guy in several of his roles, you've got to. Because you won't even recognize him. The example I'm thinking of, the first time that happened to me with him was when I saw True Romance, Amor a Quemarropa, which is a movie that stars Patricia Arquette, Christian Slater, also Dennis Hopper, and Christopher Walken, and Val Kilmer. I mean, and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is in it. He plays a stoner, un fumeta. He's excellent. Se llama Floyd. Qué nombre más apropiado. Pink Floyd, Floyd. Si no habéis visto esta película en inglés, do yourself a favor. Val Kilmer plays Elvis. What? Elvis is in the movie? Well, yeah, Elvis is like his confidant. So he has visions of his hero, Elvis, telling him what to do. And he's played by Val Kilmer. It is an awesome movie. It's not for the faint of heart. It's there's a scene, one of the bloodiest scenes ever, between James Gandolfini, he's from The Sopranos. He played Tony Soprano, and he beats the living crap out of Patricia Arquette's character. And I won't tell you what happens, but he gets his. Él recibe lo suyo. It's an amazing movie full of some of the coolest scenes. And in this scene, Gary Oldman, a British guy, is playing an American guy who thinks he's black, and he's a pimp, un chulo. And Christian Slater's character is going in there saying, it's over. She's my girlfriend now. She's leaving the business. And if you know anything about that business, which I know very little, it doesn't work like that, right? So he's going there to save her, to be, the savior. And he meets the pimp, Clarence. And Clarence says, see, he's telling him, you're afraid of me. You're afraid of me. And he goes, see, you ain't even sat down yet. Ni siquiera te has sentado aún. You haven't even sat down yet. On that TV there, en esa tele ahí, they're at a club, una discoteca, and there's a TV in the corner. They have them up in the air there. On that TV there, since you've been in the room, is a woman with a breastises hanging out. Now, breastises is like a funny way to say breasts. So they're really called breasts, pero una forma como ghetto de decir los breastises. O sea, añaden una sílaba. So he goes, is a woman with a breastises hanging out. No, las tiene suelta y están al aire libre. And you ain't even bothered to look. Y tú ni te has molestado en mirar. He says, you just been clocking me. You know what clocking means because we looked at it today. Looking me up and down, investigándome, comiéndoteme con los ojos, ¿no? Mirándome con los ojos. You just been clocking me. Tú llevas todo el tiempo mirándome a mí, ojeándome a mí. He goes, now, I know I'm pretty. Sé que soy bonito. But I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties. Pero yo no soy tan bonito como un par de tetillas. So this is Gary Oldman. Again, guys, it was difficult. Great effort. And the most important thing is, you guys got the gist of it. Piasteis el hilo, the main idea, the gist of it. So let's listen to Gary Oldman playing the pimp in True Romance. And there's your homework this weekend. Wow, that's kind of fun homework. I would love to join you with some popcorn, but I can't eat popcorn right now, as many of you know. I had a molar taken out, extracción de muela, so I haven't been enjoying food very much these last couple days. But folks, enjoy this movie. If you can watch it this weekend, watch it. It is awesome. There's a great scene, too, between Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken, which is, oh, man, scene after scene. And Brad Pitt, he's literally in the movie for like maybe a total of 1-2 minutes, and he steals the show. Es buenísimo. So here we go. Gary Oldman playing the pimp in True Romance.
See? You ain't even sat down yet.
Man, that TV over there, since you've been in the room, is a woman with her breasts just hanging out.
You ain't even bothered to look. You just been clocking me.
I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
All right, amigos. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for our last show before the Easter break. Yoo-hoo! Looking forward to it. It's going to be tons of fun. I hope you guys enjoy the next hour with Nacho and Jimena in Test Your English. Thank you so much, folks. Ciao for now.